Hey guys, Dr. Snellgrove here. Just wanted to quickly introduce you to our class, English Composition 1. I'm going to be reviewing the syllabus, going over some basics, and encouraging you to reach out if you have any questions. In case you're wondering, yes, I am aware I need to get some posters or something. This is very dreary. I feel like I'm recording the Iron Man terrorist video, but that's what they say about the syllabus. Dr. Snellgrove built it in a cave with a box of scraps. All right, so let's do some sweet, sweet share screen action here. There we go. All right. I want to maybe start with the obvious that what I'm going over now is the same syllabus that is on Canvas for you. So if you can follow along, you can download this, you can print this out, whatever floats your boat. All right, so this is me, Professor Dr. Chris Snellgrove. They make us use this syllabus template. It always feels weird to have the titles together like that. I always tell people it's like Dr. Mrs. the Girlfriend in Venture Brothers. Anyways, this is my email here. I'm supposed to remind you email is the official communication medium of the college, so be sure to check your email every day. I won't be blowing you up every day, but I'm supposed to tell you to check it every day. Now, this is my honest to God cell phone number. I'm here in my office. I do have a real, landline phone number at the college, but honestly, if that thing rings, I know I've made a dean mad or something, and no students ever call me on this. Y'all are welcome to text me. If you have any questions, please text. Like, don't just call out of nowhere. I'm not going to answer a call. I don't recognize the number or anything like that. But you can text me and we can set up a call. But more often, students just have a quick question. You can text me at pretty much any hour. I can't guarantee I'll get back to you depending on how late it is or how early I went to bed or whatever. But I will try to get back to you as soon as possible. Now, these are my office hours for actually adjusting this in real time because I'm not going to be here on Tuesday. These are my office hours this semester. So it's entirely Monday, Wednesday. Now, I should say, as online students, this doesn't directly impact you. I know some of you are on campus, so these are just the hours that I'm here in my office, which is across from the library, the building across from the library. I'm here in my office. You can just walk in. You don't need an appointment or anything. You just come in. You're always welcome. I'm always happy to chat. But like that's again just the time I'm physically here. You can text me at any time. You can email me at any time. You're online students, so you might be working weird hours. I want you to be able to reach out when you need help. Okay. Course information. Obviously, it's English Comp 1 online class. There's a whole long course description provided by the state that boils down to you write a lot of essays where you demonstrate a solid knowledge of the English language, grammar, style, rhetoric, etc. You will, demonstrate your ability to research, find good sources, cite them, put the whole thing together in an essay in MLA format. All that fun stuff. All right, scrolling on down. All right, now this is our official textbook. It's in our bookstore. I'm sure you can find it online. I will be honest with you. This is a good book to have. Like every essay, every kind of essay that I do is based on an essay style in this book. So, like, we do a reporting information essay, and there's a whole reporting information chapter in the book. We do an argumentative essay. There's a whole argumentative essay in the book. It's got a lot of good stuff on MLA, even a little stuff on grammar, I think. So it's good to have. But I am not using it actively. I'm not going to have homework where I'm like, please read chapters, 3 through 7 or anything like that. So only get this book if you think it'll help you out. Otherwise, it is not a requirement for my course. This probably will not surprise you, but like all writing courses, this does require a C or better in order to move on to Comp 2. I don't say that threateningly. The vast majority of my students get A's and B's historically, but I'm supposed to warn you about that. All right. So the syllabus online has a number of hyperlinks, obviously. So this links out to stuff in this section. Academic integrity, you can read the policy. It boils down to don't cheat. That includes using AI, kids. Accommodations. So if you have a documented disability for which accommodations may be appropriate, you can click on this. You can email them. You can call them. You can walk in if you're on campus. So basically, if you have any kind of documented disability, it might require you to have like extra time on assignments or something like that. Now, as online students, I can give you a little extra time anyway, even if you don't have that. But it's good to get this in your file. So instead of having to, if you've got a disability, instead of having to just ask the professors every time you want like an extension or something, it's right in your file. They have to give it to you. So that's all to the good for you. Attendance. Now, obviously, as an online class, attendance has air quotes in it. You do need to be logging into Canvas regularly. That's where all our work will be. You need to be regularly turning your stuff in, meeting the deadlines, reaching out to me if you have any difficulties or questions, etc. But there's not attendance in a strict sense. We don't do any live teaching. You don't have to be online at certain times or anything like that. Tutoring services. We do have free tutoring services through our through our library. You can really hear that Alabama in my voice sometimes through our library. But that's not what Alabama people sound like. But we have free tutoring services. So if you're on campus, you can just walk right in. They'll help you out with all sorts of stuff, but they really do specialize in composition, which is good for you guys. They do help students online too. So there are things where you can set up like a live session with a person, but they also have an asynchronous where you can like send them an email, get feedback from them, that kind of thing. Now, obviously, I hope you feel comfortable reaching out to me. You're going to be getting lots of feedback on the little assignments we do. More on that in a minute. And I can look at drafts beyond that. But hey, they're free resources. It's not quite free real estate, but it's free resources. Counseling services. As an actively enrolled student here at Northwest Florida State College, you can get an initial assessment and up to 5 therapeutic sessions with a behavioral provider at no cost. So that is all to the good. Student code of conduct. There's rules. Click on it. Read them. Fantastic bathroom reading. Student complaints. Okay, so composition is a subjective class, right? It's not like math class where I can show you messed up this equation. You didn't carry the one or whatever. So let's say you get a grade that you are unhappy with, feel like I was grading you unfairly, or I say or do something else that, maybe puts you off. I don't know. What can you do? Well, one, if you feel comfortable doing so, please reach out to me first. I have made plenty of grade adjustments. I've talked to students. It's very common, like, oh, I thought you didn't reach to the bottom of the page, but it turns out Canvas screwed you. Yeah, I'll work with you on stuff like that. That's not a problem. But let's say you talk to me and we don't reach a resolution that you are happy with. Or let's say that you are not comfortable, coming to me in the first place with the complaint. You can, there's a formal process, by which I mean there's a form. So you click on this, it'll take you through it, and it lets you go up my chain of command. So you can talk to my department head. If you guys don't work it out, you can talk to my dean. If you guys don't work it out, you can talk to my vice president, and so on and so forth. But please, please come to me first if you feel comfortable doing so. Student rights and responsibilities, more fantastic bathroom reading. All right, makeup work. There is no makeup work. Like, that sounds mean, but like, and I'm not trying to be rude. I know I have actual high schoolers in my class, but I've taught high school, and makeup work always felt like high school to me. I missed the test, but I drew you something. I'm like, no, I need you to take the test. So this is a writing class. We have 4 major essays. I need you to do 4 major essays. So there is no like, I missed the essay, so I did this instead. So what do I have in place of that? All right, there's 4 major essays. You can do rewrites on 2 of them, and you get a completely new grade. So, if you had an F before and you do a rewrite that's an A, you have an A. I won't like average them together or anything like that. So there's a lot of potential to get points back. Plus, I'll help you out with rewrites, and you don't have to get rewrites in until the end of the semester. So you potentially have a lot of time to get that done. Now, there is one area where we are not going to have as much time as some of my former students might expect. And there's a whole story attached to this that I can tell you if you want to reach out to me. I don't want to take up time on our recording. But basically, I'm going to have to be a lot stricter. They're making me be a lot stricter on due dates and stuff. Previously, I had systems where it was like, oh yeah, I'll take up, multiple essays at the end of the semester if you get swamped or something. And it turns out they were collecting some data and it made the college look bad. Like, oh, people had failing grades right up until the end and suddenly they were okay. So long story, not very short, I have to be, within a reasonable distance of these due dates. So I'm making up dates here. But if I've got something that's due on like February 10th, I can give you a grace period. I could give you to like, an extra week, like February 17th, but I can't really take it past that point. So please don't take this as a threat or whatever, but especially if you're a former student, I need you to internalize I cannot be taking, essays, more than 1 week past when they are due. I will work with you. I'll move heaven and earth to help you get that in by the due date or by the grace period, due date 1 week later. And then worst case, you get that in and it's crappy and you get a bad grade. That's what the rewrites are for. All right. So this is the breakdown of what we are doing. So it's four major essays. They're worth 80% of your overall grade. Math, even an English major like me can do. That means each essay is worth 20%. We have daily assignments, which don't worry, I'm not giving you busy work. The daily assignments are, I don't know why I'm putting them in air quotes. The daily assignments are things like, hey, do an outline for essay one. Okay, you get a grade and feedback on that. Do an intro for essay one. Okay, you get a grade and feedback on that. Do body paragraphs for essay one. Okay, you get a grade and feedback on that. So the idea is that you are working on the essay the entire time. You are, getting easy grades doing it. You're getting feedback to help make the final draft easier. And I'm not saying this to prevent you from complaining or whatever. I know forced writing is never fun, but you've basically got 1 month per essay. So please use 1 month per essay. I've had students like, always wait till the last minute and I stress out doing your 5-page essays. And I'm just like, have you tried not waiting till the last minute? Like, that's why you have a month. 5 pages in one night's terrible. 5 pages over 1 month is like, can you do slightly, less than or slightly more than 1 page per week? It's eminently doable. Anyways, final exam is going to be easy street, easy reflective exam. That's also 10% of your grade. Grading scheme. This is I don't like normative language, but this is a normal grading scheme. A is a 90 on up, B is a 80 to 89, C is 70 to 79. I mentioned that some of you might have gone to schools before where they're like, oh, it's not an A unless it's a 93, or something crazy like that. So we're not doing that to you. These are what they are. And I will, at the end of the semester, I will round up. So if you had like an 89.5, I will round that up to a 90. If you had a 79.5, basically I round up on the point fives if it makes a letter grade difference. So this doesn't really affect you guys as much as online students, but emergency college closure. There's all sorts of reasons the college could theoretically close, but if you've lived in Florida long enough, you know the answer is it's always weather. Always, always, always weather. The reason I say it may not affect you that much is college closes, it'll just be like, hey, the campus is closed, your classes are canceled, but this is an online class. I'm not saying I can't give you a minor extension if the weather affects you, but your ability to drive to the campus does not affect your ability to get this stuff done. This double doesn't apply to you. Academic continuity plan. This is just a whole thing warning you that, a la the COVID-19 pandemic, there's always a chance that like a face-to-face class becomes an online class. But, you're already in online class. Last bit here. Thank you for choosing NWFSC for your education and welcome to class. They encourage us, this is the boilerplate phrase they provided on the syllabus template. They encouraged us to come up with different ones. And I'm an 80s kid. You can tell by all the G.I. Joe paraphernalia in my office and the Ninja Turtles and the Transformers. I'm an 80s kid. And so the first thing that popped in my head was the old Uncanny X-Men cover where it's like, welcome to the X-Men, Kitty Pryde. I hope you survived the experience. I was like, that's a little intense. That doesn't set the tone in a good way. But in all seriousness, that is our syllabus. I will probably this very day be posting a video of our first essay and putting an outline assignment up. I want to emphasize again, syllabus is available to you already. You can reach out to me via email. You can text me with my honest to God cell phone number. Just please don't send me messages through Canvas. They get lost in the shuffle of all the 8 million other Canvas notifications I get every single day. So I end up ignoring people and I don't want to seem rude. I just don't see the message until it's too late. So you want to go to the top of the stack? Just text me. But that's about it. Again, welcome to class. I hope it's fun. Reach out if you have any questions. Feel free to come by during my office hours, and I'm looking forward to seeing your work. Bye, y'all.